briefly. We've got more for you, I promise. Four classes on hand for you. We'll start with the Shelby Vintage Racers. They had 29 entries. Hello, everybody. Watching on Flow Racing. We're also recording from Missouri in the 9D. He's going to take that great Ford or that Ford Torino. Started on the pole with Mike Wallace on his outside out of Raytown, Missouri. Row 2, Mickey Cook from Emmerich, Missouri, and Beth Martin. She will be on the outside. Andy Wiles in the 51. Studebaker out of Erie, Kansas starts 5th. Dan Schmidt in 6th. Then 7th, 8th, and 9th. Bob Workmeister, Brian Cox, and John Martin. Bryson Leftwich up on the flag stand. I'm sorry, Everett. My apologies, like the sour. I knew, if anybody knew what I meant by that, that'd be Missy just about 3 individuals down my right. Missy has nine cars stacked back side by side down the back stretch. Ryan Boyer sees the Pittsburgh T-Starks. Missouri, just getting ready to tell you about the driver that won at Lake Cumberland back on July 20th after he took the lead, but he has the lead no more. You take a look at it on the replay up on the Jumbotron as Lawless got sideways, then got tagged, and then come crashing in was the 9 of Dan Schmidt. The middle car in that was the 88 of Beth Martin. Beth had nowhere to go, and heavy damage on the front end of the number 9 ride. That's the Hobby Time Motorsport Safety Crew taking care of it. We can't actually say sheet metal on these vintage racers. .355 engines, and we go anywhere from a 1973 Ford Grand Torino all the way down to a 1927 Model T that is in the field. And you can already see from the front end damage on the 9 of Dan Schmidt as he backs up. A lot of water down on the track. Has got to thank that antifreeze and water from the radiator as it got imploded and contact with that Shelby Vintage Racers back here in 2019. We've seen some pretty impressive performances from some of the drivers here. Damon Clevenger won that initial event back in 2019. He won this year, also won last year. Andy Wiles has won twice this season. He won in July and then won last night. The 14 of Dirk Bauer, Mickey Cook, a 1928 Pontiac sedan out of Emmerich, Missouri. Thank you. Was the former track champ in the Road Warrior Division, 1993. Still works on the number 9. They're going to put Lawless on the hook. And not a good turn of events for the 71 after taking the lead at the conclusion of lap 1. See Richard Turner already on the track. Coming out in the middle of the race, that usually means that something big has happened like this. And sometimes they will put something dry down on the track to try to soak up any type of moisture or liquid or fluid or anything slimy on the track. But as we have seen as of late, sometimes it just makes a little more sense to bring the tractor out, grate it, skim that top, get rid of it that way, try to bring something that's dry from the top of the track down. Haven't had a lot dry over the last couple of weeks, as it has typically rained on race day. Had a little shower here as the Kentucky drag boats were wrapping up this afternoon. That first scrape down from Richard. He's going to take care of most of it. He's got that down to 1/4 of an inch. You could put a dime on edge, and he is so graceful with that tractor, he could graze right over the top of it and spin it. And this track has held up extremely well. Over the off-season, Kenny Carroll Excavating came in, took off the top layer of this red clay, put down 8 brand new inches. Of course, all of it was on property. After years of wear and tear on this track, the Chevy 100 came in the first 2 nights. This track was just about picture perfect. Then we had a little bit of weather concern the next night. As you see, I'm already starting to rubber up. That's right around the top edge. Whenever the late models came out and ran their qualifying, that's where most of them were running. And as you can see, the left side of your screen starting to rubber up, starting to put a cushion up at the top. Not quite enough of a lip around the high side of the turns yet. Track crew would love to get that bottom worked in as well. Last night, with the late start due to the weather, didn't have much of an intermission. It was probably a whopping 4 or 5 minutes. So, pushing intermission, made it really quick, but with the 2 B features that we will have for B mods and the late models, wouldn't be surprised if they came out and tried to touch it up just a little bit. Before a big payday for the late models, the second of our 4 features tonight. Richard's done his job. And you can see 3 cars get at least a lot of damage. If you get some damage, just bits, spare parts around, peel off some sheet metal. These are a little more difficult to find replacement parts for. Rodney Ashworth ran a completely different car last night. Ended up damaging that car and couldn't get it repaired. Had to go to a completely different car tonight. And you heard Andy Wiles talk about that in Victory Lane a night ago about how this entire crew, everybody pits exactly the same. Or you go to some of the other tracks and all the different classes. Some friends, by people around here around town. All these vintage racers, they park down one strip because they all help each other out. They will all jump in a heartbeat just to go out and have fun. Yeah, they're competitive. They do have a champion by the time the season is done. but it's not like they are in these heat races trying to get passing points or anything along that line. They, quite honestly, just redraw it again for the finish or for the final. So as you see the 88 getting pushed off, Beth Martin, the top two cars on one lap. Down to 6. Hands the lead, Mickey Cook. Yellow light has been turned off. Field 6 is under the control of the 1928 Pontiac sedan through the Bridgeport Team finishing order as 5 of the 6